Are you a doctor trying to elevate your practice and make your impact on the world long lasting? Ready to go from a hustler to a CEO? Man, you already know. Welcome to the Michael Buffington Show, the podcast that's transforming the lives of doctors. You ready? Let's go.
This goes on for a few hours. And luckily my teenagers weren't up, or they would probably had some collateral damage, because I would have, no telling what I would have done. All right. I may have lashed out at somebody. I may have been rude. I may have been inappropriate. I may have been inconsiderate and all those things. Why? Because I wasn't using my own filter. So there it is. Newsflash. I'm not perfect, but I do know I'm 1,000 times better than I used to be because of this. And that's really what I want to share with you today. And to top it all off, guess what I did? I recorded the first 30 minutes and it wasn't recording. So I go to upload it and there's nothing there. So that was just the final punch in the face. Yeah, tap on the head, say, you're being an idiot. I'm not an idiot. You're not an idiot. But I was acting like an idiot. My emotional IQ was like in the tank. It was down here, and that's the way I was exhibiting it. So if you want to know, or you want to argue or debate whether it will cost you, whether it will cost you in your bank accounts, whether it will cost you in your deposit accounts with your relationships, whether it will cost you with your deposits with yourself, it will. So I want to go ahead and share with you the frameworks. Now, I spend a significant amount of time teaching this in Game Changer. Training videos, follow-up sheets, every event that we do, this is part of it, as well as helping our guys really see this through a different lens and helping them work through this filter till they get better and better at using it on themselves. But even when you're good at it, even when you're elite at it, like me, because I created a piece of this on top of frameworks I was giving, you need outside help. You just do sometimes. So today I hope that I can be that outside help as I expose you to what this framework is. And if you've worked with me before, you've been in a challenge, you've been to an event, maybe you were a member, maybe you're still a member, like you can never hear this too many times. As a matter of fact, I went through this with our Curious Functional Health partners at the last partners meeting. So once we took care of all the business stuff in the morning, then we got around in this in the afternoon, and I believe it served them as well. I sure hope it did. They can comment below. They can comment when they see this, whether that was the case. But here it is. So the formula, as I learned it, was facts, feelings, focus, fruit. Now, for me, I don't even think of it. I expanded on that, and I see it as a decision velocity formula. Why is it a decision velocity formula? Because it impacts the decisions that I make, and velocity, it impacts the speed in which I make them. Now, there's also an accuracy piece and helping me get in the direction that I want to go. But it is how I filter my decisions and I make them quicker. And if you want to consider how that would impact your life and your business, if you made decisions faster and you made better decisions, what is going to be the result? It's going to be 10x what it would be without it. So facts are facts. Again, I'm going to do this in a really condensed format today because it's what I got. I'm not going to get to draw it up on a whiteboard or do it in a live call with you. But what it is, facts are facts. They're indisputable things. They're things that you can't argue. Could be your weight, could be your bank account, could be the dollars you have, could be certain business metrics, could be the number of years that you've been married. No one can argue that. It is what it is. End of story. That person's truth and your truth have to match up because it is rooted in facts. Okay. Now, feelings, a lot of feelings. I've listed off some in this show right now, and that's, you could be angry, you could be mad, you could be upset, you could be happy, you could be joyful, you could be thankful, you could be grateful, you could be distraught, depressed, anxious. Like, how many adjectives and how many feelings are there? I have no idea. You'd have to ask one of our counselors what if there is a number. I don't know, but there's a lot, right? Because that's what makes us human. That's what makes us have the human experience, I believe, as human beings. But so the feelings are over here. So you got facts, you got feelings, and then you have focus. Well, that's what you focus on, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And then the fruit. Now, the fruit is really just the results. It's the result. And as I said, I want to talk real. I want to have a real talk and it'll be a real show about real results. So when we get into that fruit, those results, you can look, and those results turn around and feed the facts of your life. They're a mirror of that. Like, you can look at your bank account for an example, because it's easy. It's dollars and cents, right? It's that. That is a fact. You can't dispute it. As I said, feelings can mislead you. And I've seen that work both ways. Some people live in a really scarcity mindset, some in an abundant, and it can mislead because it's not rooted in the facts. So as this filter comes down, and in my mind, I'm doing this because I see it literally like that funnel where everything starts here, and you have the facts and you have the feelings. And right now, I would encourage you, what you can do to do this on your own is simply draw a line on the paper or flip open a journal and write on both sides. Here's the facts. So if you're needing to make a tough decision, all right, and I'm going to use a tough one. It could be any decision, quite frankly, but a tough one. If you're needing to make that decision, what are the facts about it? What are the cold, hard facts about that situation? Then go to the other side of the page. What are the feelings that you have? Now, crazy enough, right? You can have negative, I'm going to call them negative feelings. You can have positive feelings. You can have in between. You could have complacency, or that's feeling generated as well. So you can have all that, and you may have both sides of the equation. I don't think I'm the only person that plays both sides, right? You want to be full range, and many times you are. So there's a lot of those pieces, the up and down of living, the up and down of doing business, that will filter in there. So you got your facts, you got your feelings. Now, when you look through that, you got to go like, all right, what's really the situation? Many times, if you look over there at the results, they will show you what you have been focused on. If your focus has been on what you don't have, or the negative, or it's been misguided, your results then are going to show it. Now, if your focus has been future focused, more abundant, but also rooted again in reality, then that's going to be the drive that makes you forward. And that's why this decision velocity matters, because if you have that page and you look at those feelings, ask, are those feelings actually serving you? Are they taking you forward? Are they building you up and helping you get in a powerful state, which you hear me refer to? If you're Tony Robbins, talk about changing your state has to be one to build. I tell my guys all the time, do ever set a target, okay, for a quarterly target or an annual target. Don't ever set it if you are in a poor state. Like if you're in an apathetic state, or you're worn out, or you're tired, or whatever. What is going to be that target? It's going to be flat, and it will be built in emotion, not in facts. So this is a key point that you don't want to do. So you may see how these facts and feelings play out, and once you have those separated, you'll begin to see more clearly. This is what I do for other people too. Help them see it more clearly. Help take them a little bit a little bigger layer down into the rabbit hole, because everybody wants to be up here at the surface and just what they believe to be true. And often it's kind of hiding the reality. But half the page, you've done that work. Now decide, make a decision. Like, is this going, among that, do you like the result? If you like the result, then focus on doing more of what you've been doing. Pretty simple. If you don't like the result, then where could your focus go? How can you turn these feelings into feelings that serve and move you forward and inspire and promote and come from an abundance place that you can do it? Sounds kind of, out there, I guess, if you will. And I don't like to be that guy. I'm not really that guy, but you still need a push. I mean, everybody needs a push to get you to go. That was actually one of the first programs I ever taught. I named it Push because I wanted to push people to do more than they would normally do on their own. That's like a whole different level of accountability. And I wanted to push them out of the spot in which they sat. And a lot of times they sat in that spot because of a spiral that was going on that allowed them to sit in this feeling vacuum, not look at the facts, not consider what they've been focused on, because then it becomes super clear. You come out at the end of this funnel, you filter things down to get it to one thing that you're going to do. It's pretty much that simple. Now, simple, if it were easy to pull off all the time, I wouldn't have spent this morning with several hours of frustration and irritation and all the stories that go along with it to get here. When I'm doing this later, when I'm actually a few episodes in today, because once I got on it, I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? This is bullshit. I'm not going to allow these stories to own me today. I'm not going to allow it to happen. If I didn't have that support under me, and if I hadn't used this framework so many times, I asked myself, would this have lasted today? Would this have lasted for 3 days? Would it have lasted for a week or two, a month or two, year or two, or a decade or two? Now, you can answer that for yourself, but I've seen people stay on that hamster wheel far too long. And one thing I know is time is ticking on me, and whether you want to talk about it or you don't, it's ticking on you. And here, I'm always about getting this down to simple things that you can execute on that move you forward to have the life that you want. Because quite frankly, and you know this, and I'll end the show today with a challenge for you to find that one thing, run it through this simple filter, get a clear action step coming out on it. And if it's something you want to share it below. When you see this podcast, share it. Or, maybe you need to share this with a colleague or a friend and let them know. Because it's the biggest thing that I have been able to bring forth into the Game Changer Docs that's actually shifted the way that they operate. Same or different practice systems, same team, same location for years, all of these things. And what shifted? Their ability to make decisions faster, with more confidence, clarity, and certainty because of this filter, and with other eyeballs on it that would just move them exponentially forward. So pick that one thing, decide what it is, do this exercise, make a commitment to yourself, keep that promise to yourself in the next 24 to 48 hours to take that action step with the appropriate feelings that are going to launch you, move you forward, get you to move. Because what do we do here? What is my drive? Everything. And that's to learn daily, okay? Live fully, lead boldly, and never forget that you are your legacy. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I hope this was valuable to you. And if it was valuable, share it up. Share it up to somebody, whether they're in the chiropractic space, whether they're in the business space, or whether they're just a friend that you think could benefit from this framework. It's one of the greatest things that I was taught, and it's something that I've continued to build on and will continue to serve more and more people. And I want you to be able to do the same. Thank you. See you soon.